Hi friends, thank you so much for coming back to craft with me today, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Alyssa. Today we're going to be using some envelopes to create these fun layered and flippy pockets. So for this one, I just used my scraps basically from this paper pad here called the French Country Stack. And I actually found this at a garage sale. I'll try to kind of show you some of the prints down there. But this is just a really great project to use up some envelopes, some scraps, and I'll quickly take you through this one. So my first little flip pocket here has a nice little flower, and it just holds a little journaling card that I made with my scraps once again. I did add tabs to each of my inserts because I just like that look. But there's that first one, and that flips down. And then I have a tuck spot over here that says today is full of possibilities with this little journaling card or flippy tag underneath. And then in this pocket here, again, just another cute little journaling card. I love the glitter of this paper. But there's that, and that flips down. And then here, I just layered up some scraps, added a little spot here for writing. And then this is a side pocket. So there's all my decor over there. And then inside, I just made this ticket, but then I turned it into a floating pocket. So I just put some smaller pieces like little tags, a little journaling card or something like that. Just some fun little pieces. And then that's the side pocket that it goes in. And then the main pocket in the back here, of course, has just one more journaling card. Same kind of deal with the tab. So this is kind of what it looks like, just layered up like that. I didn't cover the back here because I was just going to glue it into a journal, but you could totally cover up the back as well. So go ahead and grab some scraps, some envelopes, and we can create one of these together. So of course, you first want to grab some envelopes, and really you can use any size that you have, but I have so many of these small ones. So here's the size here, 3 5/8 of an inch by 6.5 inches. And I'm going to just grab 3 of these. And you can really do as many as you want, but I'm just going to stick with the 3. So we have these, and I'm actually going to hold them all this way so that the lid here it opens up on the left. And I'm just going to fold the lid back like that. And then I'm going to stick it inside of my next envelope. So just kind of open this one up and send that lid to the back as well. And then this lid from the first one, I'm just going to stick inside here. And I am going to glue it. So pretty much just glue this side that you would seal normally. So I'll apply glue all over that and then stick it inside my second envelope. And just make sure that's nice and nestled in there and that everything can close up. All right, and then we're going to have this lid in the back, which we're also going to glue this part here, and we'll stick that into our last envelope. So I'm just going to send this lid to the back as well for now, and then we'll glue this one inside of this envelope. Close everything up. So we have these 3 all attached. And like I said, you could just keep going and adding as many envelopes as you want. But once you reach your last one, I just take the lid here and I wrap it around back to the front, like so. And you might have to play around with it a little bit, depending on how many envelopes you layer up on top of each other. But then this, I pretty much just glue inside of the first envelope. So we're pretty much just always gluing this part of the lid that you would normally seal. And then I'll tuck this into my very first envelope there. Like that. And then we'll have our 3 envelopes all attached. And you could even just leave it at this size if you want. You don't have to do layers, but I like layers. So here's what I'm going to do for mine. You can go ahead and measure out the size of your pockets if you want. But what I did was I just took this first one here and I'm just going to fold it right in half, like so. And this will be the size of my first flip pocket. And then my next envelope, the middle one, I'm just going to fold that down to the top of this first piece there. So I'm just going to do this. All right, and then this is just going to be the height of my second or middle pocket, and then I'll just leave the last one as it is. So now I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm just going to cut off on my first one. I'm just going to cut off right where I folded it pretty much. And then same thing with the second one, just cut off at the fold there. So let's just do that. Doesn't have to be perfect. We'll just cut this right off. And it is going to look like this, which is fine. But that's going to be our first pocket. So let's flip that down and go to our second one here and just cut off at the crease. And that's going to be our second pocket. So it is going to look like this pretty much, and that's fine. That's kind of what it just ends up looking like. So then we're going to have our 3 layers here. And then for the last one, all I do is just cut off a sliver of the top here so that it's open. So just like the smallest little slice here, I'll cut off at the top so we can get a pocket, of course, right there. Okay, so that's pretty much all set. Again, you can hold it this way if you prefer. I like that way too, but we're going to hold it this way today. So I will give you the sizes of the paper that I'm using to cover up my pockets. However, you really don't need to measure it out. Let me just pop this here. So I'm just going to start with the smallest pocket here. This is the size paper that I used, 6.5 wide by a little over 1 3/4 of an inch. So, I mean, I'll just let you see it all. But that's the one that I'm going to focus on right now. So I just have 2 of those, one for the front and one for the back. So I think this one I'll put in the front. And then another thing, so if you don't want to measure that out, you could also just, go through your scraps. I'm going to grab a few over here on the side. What I did with my first one was I didn't measure it all. I kind of just went through my scraps. You can take scrap strips and kind of just lay them out. If they're too big, you can cut off any excess. If they're too small, like say you have something that's only that big, you can just layer scraps on top of each other and do like a little patchwork design or collage. So you really don't have to measure to cover up your pockets if you don't want to do that. Anyway, so let me just take this piece here. I'm just going to glue it to the front. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'm pretty much just going to attach it to these front little pieces here that are kind of just hanging there. So I'm going to glue those two pieces completely. And then I'm going to pop my little strip here right over top. No, I'm not. Before I do that, you also just want to add a line of glue at the bottom. And then you can pop this over top because obviously you want your pocket to be sealed at the bottom. So make sure you add your glue at the bottom. And then I'm just going to flip it down. And my other sheet here of this size is just going to go in the back like that. So that's why I have two of them. But obviously you can decorate however you want. Maybe you just want to leave this blank for some writing space. Depends on what you're doing with it, right? So I'll just stick that piece in the back. That one we just glued down completely. Easy peasy. So that way, once everything's dry, of course, we'll have this pocket here right in the middle. All right, so we'll flip that down and then we'll do the same thing here. So we're moving on to the middle piece here. I'm getting two pieces of paper that are 6.5 inches wide by a little less than 2 3/4. So measurements are kind of weird just because of, I don't know, how the envelopes are. Again, you can measure out the size of your pockets to be a perfect measurement, but same kind of thing here. So I'm just going to glue just this front section pretty much. So we'll glue the whole entire thing. So that front layer pretty much just gets all the glue. And then remember to put your line of glue just at the very bottom so that your pocket gets closed up. Then you can place whatever paper you choose right over top. Kind of just fold that over. Make sure everything fits nicely. And then this piece, my second one, will just go right in the back. And this one you can just glue down completely. Just to cover this up a little bit. All right, and then we just have one more envelope here to fill up or to cover up first. So this one is going to be 6.5 by 3.5. And I'm just choosing one for now because you can cover up the back, of course, but I'm not sure if I'm going to glue this into a journal yet or give it to somebody. Obviously, if I were going to give it to somebody, I would cover up the back as well, but for now I'm just going to do the front here. So again, we're just gluing this whole entire first little layer of our envelope. And same thing, just pop a line of glue right at the bottom, all the way across, and place your paper over top. Okay, so that's how we get our three little flippy pockets. And just make sure that they can all still open up. nicely. But now you can just go ahead and fill it up and decorate. And I think this would be so cute to put some photos inside if you want to use it for memory keeping, or maybe even some gift cards or tea packs if you're giving it away. I went ahead and just created my own inserts again for this. So I used my scraps from this paper pad. So I just made my own little journaling cards. Of course, I added my little file tabs too, but you don't have to do that. So this one is going to go in my first pocket here. And it just looks so cute sticking out like that. I don't think all my pockets are 100% dry yet, but for the sake of the video, we're just gonna stick these in. Here's my next one, my little tab in the center. Okay, and then for my last one here, I have this card. I added a little butterfly stamp down below. And that'll go in my pocket here in the back. And it's just so fun, all layered up. We used up some envelopes. I mean, I have so many left, so I'm really trying to come up with things that I can use those in. And you can use your scraps, and you can even use your scraps to decorate. So I'm gonna take maybe this skinny little scrap strip and like you could just place it at the top here or at the bottom or anywhere for just like a little accent piece. Let's just do that since we have it. We'll just place it right here maybe. And maybe I'll add this little floral piece in the corner with some foam tape. And that's just from an ephemera pack from Joann's. This little guy right here. So I'll just place it right about there. And then like my first one, you could even add smaller pockets or tuck spots like in these areas over here, or you can kind of just leave them and write little notes or messages there. Let's see. Let's add kindness is magic. Maybe to the side there, but I want to back it with something, of course, because that's what I like to do. So maybe I'll just put it onto this scrap. And grab my foam tape again to attach that. All right, I might even put like a little scrap paper there for extra writing space. Like you could put a little coffee dyed scrap or something like that. In fact, maybe I will just stick that there. Could write a little memory on here, something like that. Or just another positive, inspirational quote. All right, And then my last one here, I might just stick this journaling card there. I don't know how I feel about the hashtag up there, so I'm gonna see what I can cover it with. Let's cover it with a rainbow with some foam tape, because maybe you just want to write something that doesn't have to do with being so in love, even though that is a wonderful thing. I'm just gonna pop that up there. And we'll place this right in the center. So I think that's going to complete my little flippy pockets here. And I just love the addition of the tabbed inserts personally. I like that look. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial today. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more crafty fun and inspiration, and leave me a comment down below. I would love to say hello. Other than that, I will see you all very soon in my next one. So happy crafting and huge hugs!